Imagine being 19 years old, have achieved exactly fucking zero in your life, knowing nothing. You put makeup on, and sports stars, billionaires, actors, the most important famous people on the planet, the richest men on the planet are begging for your attention. As they grow older, what women become is far more fearful of competition. This is why you'll see a woman who's a bit older go, oh, you know, I really want monogamy. What she's scared of is her dude getting a 21-year-old. That's what she's fucking scared of. She may not know it. She may not say it. So when a woman is 19 and she can go anywhere she wants, every man wants her. She's can go on any yacht in Miami. She can get flown out to Dubai when she has all the choices in the world. And then when she gets to a certain age of maturity and there's a whole new generation of girls who have all the choices, then they sit there and go, you know what? I deserve monogamy and da-da, and they all of a sudden want to grow up and mature. Why does no woman decide that when she actually is at her most value? When you were at your peak value, you had zero interest in monogamy. But then you find a man who's 35 at his peak value, and then you're sitting there saying to him, no, you should be monogamous, da-da. It's like, well, you fucking weren't. You did whatever you wanted in your peak.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey guys, what's going on? Abdo Huti right here, and today we're going to be reacting to a video under the title of Andrew Tate Debate Modern Women in a channel called Just Pearly Things. And honestly, Andrew Tate was so articulate, very on point, so on fire in this video. We really need to get up on this video. But before we do, I'm just gonna read some of the comments from the previous video. Also, there is no equating a woman having sex before marriage and her being a bad woman. Well, I never insinuated that anywhere in the video, and I know that you can be a nice person and also be liberal. I have Christian friends, I have atheist friends, I have friends from so many ideologies and beliefs, and me being a Muslim does not negate the fact that I can have friends from different ideologies, from different beliefs. And actually, I love to do that. I love to keep a dialogue going on back and forth, but I'm saying that having casual sex kind of has a very detrimental effect on society, on people's psychology, on people's physiology. I really would like you guys to keep commenting your ideas. From Muni Tree, let them decrease their population as long as we multiply. I'm married and have 2 kids. Our plan is to have 8 to 10 kids. Wow, 8 to 10 kids is a very good number. Like my grandma has 13 kids, mashallah. When you say let them decrease in population, we as Muslims, and I'm assuming you're a Muslim too, brother, do not wish malice or bad things on other people. We actually want happiness for other people. Our Prophet, peace be upon him, was sent for the entire mankind as a mercy. In the Quran itself, it says, وَمَا أُرْسِلْتُ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. I have been sent as a mercy for all mankind. So the point here is that we really need to wish good for others, not just for us as a Muslim community. Now let's jump into the video. Let's get going.
Do women prefer to be monogamous with a low-value man or share a high-value man?
Well, look at society, and you tell me.
Monogamous.
Ask me. Wait, so let's ask the single ladies. What would you prefer?
I would prefer someone who's monogamous. I left a situation where I got the Bentley, I had all that, I had the kids, I had that. That was great. I want a companion. I want real love.
Let me ask a quick question just so I can clarify something, because I understand your points. You're saying you want a partner, a life partner. Are you sure, and I'm not accusing, I'm genuinely asking, are you sure you're not confusing the amount of time the man spends with you with his monogamy? Because they're different things. Because what happens a lot of the time, if a man's out here chasing chicks, he's barely home. But imagine you had a man who was home 7 nights a week. He was always home. I'm talking about like an hour, like during his work lunch. You don't even notice. Then would you even give a shit about monogamy if you had all of his time effectively? Would you really care?
I still would care because I feel like that's still just an hour a day, and it's not really quality time. I feel I really have been in so many different situations. Again, the trainer in Austin to the NBA player baby daddy. Like I have seen all of that stuff, and it's just my personal experience and perspective to where I want someone that sees the value in the Grand Canyon. I want somebody who
is very open about the previous experiences.
I understand. Okay, so that's a good point, and so I'll just ask the first question. I'm gonna ask the second question. The realization you've come to is an interesting one. It is something that happens, especially to females as they mature. Don't you think it's strange, or why do you think that 0 women on earth choose those kind of men who they perhaps have slightly lower status but are more likely to be loyal to them and be monogamous, etc. In the modern world, because like I said, the world's changed, Why do you think 0 women choose them when they're at the peak of their choices? So when a woman is 19 and she can go anywhere she wants, every man wants her. She's can go on any yacht in Miami. She can get flown out to Dubai. When she has all the choices in the world, why is she completely uninterested in those kind of men? And then when she gets to a certain age of maturity and there's a whole new generation of girls who have all the choices, then they sit there and go, you know what? I deserve monogamy and da-da, and they all of a sudden want to grow up and mature. Why does no woman decide that when she actually is at her most valuable?
Yeah, it's true. It's simple because she doesn't have as many choices anymore. She's realizing that she's advancing in age, and okay. Wakey, monogamy, come on, any guy, whatever.
I feel like like I said, I don't like to speak for all women, I just speak for myself, but I know for me that I was looking for a man for a lifestyle, something that I was not able to do individually by myself. So that's why it's like, well, yeah, I want to be able to do this, do that. I want to go for the football player that was just on GQ. And in reality now I realize, well, okay, there's a lot that comes with that. I can make my own money. I don't necessarily need that type of guy for the happiness that I'm looking for. Again, seeing value in the Grand Canyon is a lot different than like, okay, here's money for this, here's allowance for that.
And
here's
that's
an
the
hour
same
of my
thing
time.
as you asking why a man that is 20, 21,
Cap.
23 is not a top G like a 30, 40-year-old man.
No, the point,
your age actually dictates your sort of maturity to a large extent.
Well, I'm arguing the point. The point I'm trying to make is that what I actually think happens, especially in the modern world, because the modern world's all fucked up and nothing's the way it's supposed to be, the traditional life path of a female is she's 17, she's 18, she's 19, and her value is massively inflated. And I don't blame her. Of course it's massively inflated. Imagine being 19 years old, have achieved exactly fucking 0 in your life, knowing nothing. You put makeup on, and sports stars, billionaires, actors, the most important famous people on the planet, the richest men on the planet are begging for your attention. The ego you're going to develop, let's all be honest, right? The ego you're going to develop is going to be monumental. I'm special, I'm so gorgeous, all this bullshit, right? And then what happens as they grow older, as new generations come along, because the truth is most women are at their peak attraction, let's say in their early 20s. As they grow older, what women become is far more fearful of competition. This is why you'll see a woman who's a bit older go, oh, you know, I really want monogamy. What she's scared of is her dude getting a 21-year-old. That's what she's fucking scared of. She may not know it. She may not say it. But basically,
she
that's
may
what
not
the
say
truth
it,
is.
definitely.
She knows a 21-year-old is going to be more desirable, higher status, more fertile. That's what she's scared of. The shift in the female mentality, because when a female is 20, she doesn't give a fuck about any of this. She doesn't want to find the nice man. Now she's trying to, like you're saying, chasing a lifestyle, chasing Mr. Promiscuous, chasing Mr. Famous.
Yeah, and the same guy she wants to be monogamous with gets 0 attention. Nothing. This is the problem. In their 20s, males in general, they don't get attention. They don't have experience. They don't have life experience. They don't have enough money. They don't have enough status. So in their 30s and 40s, if they work really actually hard for it, maybe they will get there. But the majority of men in their 20s are sorry.
Famous. Doesn't give a shit until she starts getting scared. Oh, shit. Oh, my age begins with 3 now. And then they change, their mentality changes. It's a fear element. That's the reality. And it's a biological fear element. I'll give you an example of it. You know what's amazing about humans? We are still very primal. When men like these two and me, when we walk through the mall, people just move. It's like you can sense when the big animals turn up, right? It's something
Happens
amazing
with
about
me
humans.
too.
If you have a very attractive 45-year-old woman, she's gorgeous, but a gorgeous 19-year-old walks in, look at that 45-year-old woman's face. She fucking hates her. She just doesn't like her for no reason. Because women understand, unfortunately, but your age is a massive indicator in your value. In an inverse way to men are more valuable as we get older. Every woman knows that. Every woman will sit here and go, yeah, well, I know a man who's older than me. Of course. But if I say it the other way around, I'm misogynistic. It's just the reality of the world. So then we have to go into the other point. The point is this. When you were at your peak value, you had 0 interest in monogamy. But then you find a man who's 35 at his peak value. He's finally struggled and worked because when he was 19, no girl spoke to him. When he was 23, he was broke. When he was 24, he had no life experience. When he was 25, he couldn't fuck. When he was 26, whatever. He finally gets to the point where he's now at his peak value. Him at 35 is you when you were 19. And then you're sitting there saying to him, no, you should be monogamous. It's like, well, you fucking weren't. You did whatever you wanted in your peak. Now I'm finally got there. And I had to work for my shit. God gave you. God and L'Oreal gave you. I had to fucking struggle. I had to go through hell to get on this yacht. You got on the yacht with an Instagram DM. I had to buy it.
The L'Oreal touch was really good.
And now you're telling me I need to fucking settle down and behave and grow up? Fuck you.
Because
it's bullshit.
You're assuming that the journey is a man that starts with nothing.
Oh my God. As a Muslim, if you want my take on this, the whole foundation of a woman reaching a certain age, becoming independent, doing whatever she wants. I don't have a problem with women working and making it in life and having goals. I don't have any problem with that. But it's just this whole complete independency, doing whatever I want, going wherever I want, and then just messing around with whoever. This whole structure is corrupt. This whole structure is bad. How can a 19 or 20-year-old girl go with a 40-year-old man, a sugar daddy, and travel the world, and him doing heinous things to her? How is that good for the society? And also think the other way around. As a male who's in his 20s doesn't get any privileges at all, unless he really has to like completely fuck himself up to get to a higher status to be able to compete in the game of life. This is completely crucial, and it's completely devastating for males and also for females, because you see now as they reach a certain age, they're like, oh damn it, we are done. When a male reaches his peak in his 30s or 35 or whatever, he becomes more desirable for a woman. But he does not want to settle with a 30-year-old woman. He wants something very young. And this is the problem. It's bad for everybody. This whole thing, this whole liberalism, this whole system, it's not something that can guarantee the collective happiness of people. It's like people stomping on each other to get happiness, you know?
You're assuming that the journey is a man that starts with nothing to something, because there's a lot of men that have
exactly the journey of every man on earth. We are born without value.
Do you think
so there's
See, this is the reality of life. You are born without value. Maybe unless you were born in a rich family with a rich daddy, but still you would be a punk with a lot of money, you know? You need to build your character from scratch. You really need to go through hard things.
Specificity in that,
Can I just
because
ask-
that's not how it should be for everybody, and that's not how it is for everybody, and not for every woman either as well, may I just say.
Can I ask Brittney something, please? You know, like, then you've learnt in the past, and now you want to find someone to settle down. With hindsight now, would you have reversed it and like started young, looking for someone to settle down with, looking for those
she
values
wouldn't.
that
No,
now
no,
you
no.
know? I'm talking that with hindsight.
Okay, well, I actually,
Okay, let's
from
listen to
18
the
to
cap.
22, I was in a relationship. I've always actually been a lover girl, despite what I put out online for, you know,
I've never
views.
seen you online.
Yeah, that's
So-
fine. Well, that's even better.
I wanted to know, do you think we're in a post-marriage society? Because on one hand, we hear that women should wait till they're married to have sex, but at the same time, we also hear from the men that they don't want to get married anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is that homosexuals are trying to get married, and the opposite sex people, they don't want to get married in the West anymore. This is...
So what do we do with that?
Seems like it's true, because nowadays a lot of people are looking at marriage as a contract rather than a partnership, and there's a huge difference between that, because with a contract there's
It's
so many
both.
terms and many headaches and this and that and
Well, it is a,
numbers
Yeah,
it
it
is
has
a
to have-
contract.
well,
Yeah.
Women are
that's
paid to
why.
leave, yeah.
But that's because that is what it is now. Because
There's nothing wrong with
realistically,
it
the
being a
traditional
contract.
sense of marriage is not a contract, really, in terms of the law. Once the law is involved, that's when everything went tits up, I think.
Yeah. So the problem is
There has
is
to
that
be a
there's
law,
no-
because if you have conflict with your spouse, there has to be someone who intervenes. If the conflict is big enough that it cannot be resolved within both of you, the family, like in our Eastern conservative Muslim countries, the family intervenes from both sides. And if this cannot be helpful, then the state intervenes, you know? And if you still cannot manage to pull off this marriage, then everybody goes their own way. This is this sad reality of life. But to negate completely the fact that marriage is actually a contract is a little too emotional and utopian, you know? It does not work, this fact in life. You need to be realistic about life.
zero advantage to marriage in the Western world for a man. There is
Exactly.
zero statistical advantage. If you use your mind, if you use your head instead of your heart, and you look at the advantages to getting married, there are absolutely and utterly none. Because this new idea of new age feminism just basically destroys all men in the idea, in the event of her leaving. And it's very common that women leave, right? Let's stop the man versus woman attack, et cetera, et cetera. Life's difficult for everybody. We all have different challenges, different things to go through. But if a woman
Yeah, of
marries a
course.
man and it goes wrong, she has emotional heartbreak, fine. But if a man marries a woman and it goes wrong, he has emotional heartbreak. Plus, everything he has ever worked for is ripped out from underneath him, and he has to give that chick money forever.
And some places you don't even have to be married.
Exactly.
That's really devastating. It's like there are people behind the scenes that try to manipulate humanity into not wanting to get married anymore, and people are not even seeing this. This is the weird part for me. Like, how can you put so many destructive terms on the ending of marriage to make men not want to get married anymore, and to make women so promiscuous and very easy to cheat with other men even though they're married? So it's really, really scary.
Men don't want to live with the women either.
That's right. So when you make these rules and these laws, right, under the guise of feminism and equality, all this garbage, all you're doing is scaring men away from commitment. And then you have to add in the other hidden element, and the other hidden element
Brother
is what I said
Andrew.
earlier, is whose fault a lot of this is promiscuous women, right? So when society is broken down, if women were saying, if all women got together and said, we'll only have sex after marriage, guess what men would do? Get married. But you don't. Right? So now you're in Miami. I go Miami.
It's true. It's true, because the women are the ones who give sex. The women are the ones who give consent. So if you completely say, no, I'm not going to have sex until I get married in a legal contract where I have my rights, then yeah, I would understand that. But the thing is that the ending terms of this legal contract is detrimental. It's scary to get married in the West, and we don't have that in our conservative Muslim countries. The ending of marriage, yeah, can be sad. It can have repercussions. You still have to pay certain fees for your kids, regardless of the terms of marriage, because we guarantee our paternity. We guarantee our paternity as fathers, so of course 100% you have to pay, because the woman gets married when she is a virgin, so you are 100% the dad. But the ending of the marriage in the Western society, it's detrimental, it's destructive, it's scary for the male. This is why people actually need to do something about it, saying like, yeah, okay, let's get married to have sex. But if we don't work, which is something that normally happens between humans, not everybody has to be married 40, 50 years. I mean, this is the utopian thinking, the ideology, the emotional ideology that a lot of women adopt. If we end the marriage here and now, we need to have reasonable, rational terms for ending that marriage, so that men say, okay, if I want to have sex with you, I'm going to have to marry you. And if it doesn't work out, I have to do certain terms that will not destroy my life afterwards. So, okay, yeah, let's get married, no problem. And then this whole beautiful relationship is built. Come back to Islam. Come back to this beautiful religion. Look, Andrew Tate, he understood these concepts, and this is why he's portraying these things to the world.
So now you're in Miami. I go Miami. I can fuck anything in the club. I don't have to marry any of them. If I marry
No,
them,
you
I get
can't, because
wrecked.
you're Muslim.
So, like, let's all use our brains here. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be like, well, no. Bounce. See ya. No. So men have been scared away from the idea of marriage, and that's a lot of that is the fault of this new bullshit law and this new feminism and this new crap. They don't give men any tactical advantage. And I'm talking about small things. A man's not even allowed to be a man in his own house. You know, in England, you will get accused of emotional abuse. I can marry a woman, not lay a hand on her. I can just raise my voice at her. That's emotional abuse. I can raise my voice at her because she's going out drinking with dudes. She can go out drinking 6 nights a week with men. And I can say, what the fuck, you're my wife, sit down. She can call the cops, call me emotionally abusive. I get arrested now. Now there's a court case against me. I have to go to court and defend myself. She'll divorce me, take my house. I have to sell my car because she's drinking vodka with fucking God knows who.
But you notice that...
Oh my God. How do you still want men to get married? How do you still want to contain and keep a society? How do you still want to keep a society going with these terms? You gotta keep the man in control. You gotta give the man, I'm not saying absolute control, but you gotta give him a certain level of authority. And this is something mind-boggling for me, and even Andrew Tate does not think about this, is that the only people on this earth, probably for a female, that don't want to fuck her, that don't want to have sexual access to her, are her dad and her brothers. And the thing is that these are the people who don't have clouded judgment over her future, over who gets closer to her and who doesn't. But now in the West, you take that out. Nobody has authority over you. Nobody has even a say in the matter. And the thing that women do not understand, girls, there's something that you don't understand, that there are manipulative men who think 1,000 and 2,000 times before they take action with you if you have someone who has your back. You know, and you think like the police has your back, you think that the state has your back and will actually defend you. No. A man will get scared if he knows you have brothers that will come and fuck him up and beat him up if he manipulates your feelings. A man will think 1,000 times because he knows that you have a dad that is protective of you, and if he wants to get in your pants, he has to go to the father, ask for permission to marry you. This is the beautiful thing that we have in Islam and in the East in general. We do not have authority over our women because we want to control them. No, it's like the women in our society, a man thinks 1,000 times before even thinking to manipulate her or to get in her pants, because he knows if he messes up with her, the dad and the brothers will come and they will fuck you up. You understand? It's as simple as that.
What? It's insanity.
What do you?
Okay, I think that was pretty much it. We covered very good points in this video. If this video was nice and enjoyable and entertaining, share it around with a couple of friends, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't subscribe without turning on the notifications. Turn on the notifications to get the latest updates to my videos. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below, because I will pick some comments also to reply to them in the next video as well. And guys, if you want to support me, support yourselves actually by taking my weight loss course, because I want to spread positivity in this world and I want you guys to start the journey to losing weight. In my course, I explain to you my secrets that I personally apply to start losing weight while enjoying the foods that I love. This is really beautiful. Go downstairs in the description box, click the link and take my course. If you want to support me, this is the way to actually support me and support my channel, is by taking my weight loss course. It's currently under a maybe 80% discount until now, so take that opportunity. Until we meet again in a new video, remember to stay tuned.
I said, oh my God, there's a big fucking crack in the facade.